In the heart of America's bustling cities and the shadowy streets of the UK, where gangs rule the night and ordinary folks become victims in the blink of an eye. Imagine a story so raw, so intense, it could happen right next door. A black woman and her brother ambushed by ruthless thugs, only for the tables to turn in ways that'll leave you breathless. This isn't just fiction. It's a pulse-pounding reminder of hidden strength and unyielding justice. If you're in the USA or UK craving stories that grip your soul and make you question everything, hit that subscribe button now. Unlock exclusive twists, behind-the-scenes insights, and more adrenaline-fueled narratives delivered straight to you. Don't miss out. Subscribe today and join the thousands who've already been hooked. The sun had dipped below the horizon in the gritty underbelly of Chicago, casting long shadows over the cracked sidewalks of the South Side where Aisha Thompson and her younger brother, Marcus, walked home from a late-night shift at the local diner, their footsteps echoing against the graffiti-covered walls that told stories of forgotten dreams and endless struggles. Aisha, a 32-year-old woman with skin like polished ebony and eyes that held the weight of secrets, clutched her purse tightly, her Navy SEAL training from years ago whispering warnings in her mind as she scanned the dimly lit alley they had to cut through to save time. Marcus, only 25 and fresh out of community college with aspirations of becoming a teacher, chatted animatedly about his latest lesson plan, oblivious to the group of 5 hooded figures lurking in the darkness ahead, their faces obscured by bandanas emblazoned with the insignia of the notorious Black Kings Gang, a crew known for terrorizing the neighborhood with extortion, drug deals, and random acts of violence that left families shattered and the police overwhelmed. As they approached, the leader, a burly man called Razor with tattoos snaking up his neck like venomous vines, stepped forward with a sneer, his gold-capped teeth glinting under the flickering streetlight. "Yo, pretty lady and her punk brother, this is our turf. Hand over the cash, phones, and anything shiny, or we'll make this night your last," he barked, his cronies fanning out to block their escape, knives and bats materializing in their hands like extensions of their malice. Marcus froze, his heart pounding as he instinctively stepped in front of Aisha, whispering, "Sis, just give them what they want." But Aisha's expression remained calm, her mind racing through tactical assessments honed from BUD/S training in Coronado, where she'd endured hell, week after hell week, pushing her body and spirit to limits most couldn't fathom, becoming one of the first Black women to earn her trident. A symbol of elite warrior status she kept hidden after leaving the service to care for their ailing mother and raise Marcus in the wake of their father's abandonment. The gang didn't know this, of course. To them, she was just another vulnerable target, a Black woman in the wrong place at the wrong time, easy prey in a city where statistics painted people like her as perpetual victims. But as Razor lunged forward to grab her arm, Aisha moved with the precision of a shadow, twisting his wrist in a joint lock that sent his knife clattering to the ground, her voice low and steady. "You picked the wrong night, boys," eliciting shocked laughs from the others who charged in, bats swinging wildly. But Aisha was already in motion, her SEAL instincts kicking in like muscle memory from missions in Afghanistan and Somalia, where she'd infiltrated enemy camps under the cover of night, silent and deadly. She ducked under a swing from the first thug, a lanky kid named Spike with piercings that jingled as he missed, countering with a swift elbow to his solar plexus that dropped him gasping for air. Then pivoted to face the next, a stocky brute called Tank who barreled toward her like a freight train, but she sidestepped, using his momentum against him with a hip throw that slammed him into the alley wall, cracking bricks and his resolve in equal measure. Marcus, wide-eyed but inspired, picked up the fallen bat and swung at another attacker, clipping his knee and sending him howling. But the 5th gang member, a sly one named Ghost with a scar across his cheek from past brawls, pulled a gun from his waistband, aiming it shakily at Aisha's back. "Bitch, you think you're tough? Say goodbye," he snarled. But before he could pull the trigger, Aisha spun, disarming him with a practiced sweep that sent the pistol skidding into a puddle, following up with a knee to his groin and a chop to his throat that left him choking on the ground. The entire skirmish over in under a minute, leaving the gang sprawled and groaning as sirens wailed in the distance, drawn by a neighbor's frantic call. Aisha helped Marcus to his feet, brushing off his jacket. "You okay, little bro?" she asked, her voice betraying no tremor. Though inside, the adrenaline surged like ocean waves crashing against the shores of her past, memories of SEAL teammates lost in firefights flooding back. But Marcus stared at her in awe. "Sis, what the hell was that? You fight like some kind of superhero?" And she sighed, knowing the secret she'd buried for years was unearthed. "There's a lot you don't know about me, Marcus. Let's get out of here before the cops arrive and complicate things." They slipped away into the night, hearts racing. But this was only the beginning, for the Black Kings weren't the type to let humiliation slide. Razor, nursing his broken wrist as his crew regrouped in their rundown hideout, an abandoned warehouse on the edge of the industrial district, vowed revenge. "That woman ain't normal. We're gonna find out who she is and make her pay tenfold," he growled, dispatching ghosts to dig into her background, using street connections and hacked databases to uncover Aisha's identity, little suspecting the hornet's nest they were stirring. Meanwhile, Aisha and Marcus arrived at their modest apartment in a high-rise project, where the walls were thin and the elevator always smelled of stale smoke. Aisha locking the door behind them with extra bolts, her mind already planning defenses. "We can't stay here long. Those guys will come looking," she said, pulling out a hidden duffel bag from under her bed, revealing tactical gear, a concealed handgun with suppressor, and encrypted comms devices from her SEAL days. Marcus's eyes widening further. "Wait, you're like, military? Why didn't you tell me?" And Aisha sat him down, the weight of confession heavy. "After Mom got sick, I left the Navy to be here for you both. I was a SEAL, Marcus, one of the best, but I couldn't risk you knowing. It would have put targets on our backs." But as she spoke, her phone buzzed with an anonymous text. "We know where you live, SEAL bitch. Your brother's next," sending a chill down her spine, realizing the gang had moved faster than expected, perhaps with insider help from corrupt elements in the city. The twist came swiftly. Unbeknownst to Aisha, Razor wasn't just a street thug. He was the estranged son of a powerful Chicago alderman, Victor Hale, who used his political clout to shield the Black Kings' operations in exchange for dirty work like intimidating rivals and rigging votes in low-income districts. And when Razor reported the assault, Hale saw an opportunity to eliminate a threat, dispatching his own security detail. Ex-cops turned mercenaries to track Aisha, but she was one step ahead, her SEAL training including counter-surveillance, spotting the tail as she and Marcus fled to a safe house she'd maintained in secret, an old storage unit converted into a bunker with supplies for weeks. There, she began piecing together the puzzle, using a burner laptop to hack into public records and gang forums, discovering Hale's connection and the deeper conspiracy. The Black Kings were part of a larger syndicate smuggling weapons across state lines, with ties to international arms dealers, and Aisha's accidental intervention had disrupted a key drop scheduled for that night, worth millions. Marcus, adapting quickly, insisted on helping. "I'm not letting you do this alone, sis. Teach me what you know." And over the next hours, she gave him a crash course in basic self-defense and evasion tactics, forging them into a reluctant team as they prepared to strike back. But the plot thickened when Aisha received a call from an old SEAL buddy, Commander Reyes, now retired and running a private security firm. "Heard through the grapevine you're in trouble, Thompson. Words out on the dark web. About a hit on a former frogman. Need backup?" He offered, revealing that the syndicate had put a bounty on her head, attracting not just local gangs but professional hitmen from as far as New York and even across the pond in London, where UK-based affiliates of the arms ring operated in the shadows of Tower Bridge and the East End. Aisha accepted the help reluctantly, knowing alliances could be double-edged, and as Reyes arrived with a small team of veterans, they planned an infiltration of the warehouse, but twist upon twist unfolded. During reconnaissance, Aisha discovered that Marcus had a secret of his own. He'd been secretly dating Razor's sister, Lena, a sharp-witted college student trying to escape her family's criminal legacy, and she tipped him off about the attack unknowingly, thinking it was just a mugging. But now she was in danger too, caught in the crossfire of loyalty and love. "Why didn't you tell me?" Aisha demanded, echoing Marcus's earlier words, as they rescued Lena from a gang safe house under heavy guard, Aisha taking out sentries with silenced shots and wire garrotes, her movements a blur of efficiency born from years of special ops. Lena whispering apologies. I didn't know how deep it went. My brother's insane, but my father's the real monster, revealing Hale's plan to expand the syndicate into human trafficking, preying on vulnerable immigrants from Africa and the Middle East, a revelation that hit Aisha personally. Her own heritage tracing back to Nigerian roots, her mother had fled for a better life in America. The group holed up in Reyes's safe house, a fortified loft in the Loop district, plotting their next move, but betrayal struck like a dagger in the dark. One of Reyes's men, a turncoat named Vargas, had been bought off by Hale, leaking their location and leading to a midnight raid where bullets tore through windows and doors, Aisha shielding Marcus and Lena as she returned fire. Her M4 carbine barking in controlled bursts, dropping 2 assailants before Vargas revealed himself. Sorry, Thompson, the payout was too good, he sneered, but Aisha, anticipating disloyalty from her paranoid SEAL mindset, had booby-trapped the entrance, triggering flashbangs that blinded the intruders, allowing her to subdue Vargas with a chokehold, interrogating him for Hale's whereabouts. A luxury penthouse overlooking Lake Michigan, guarded by elite mercenaries. As dawn broke, the team, now Aisha, Marcus, Lena, and the loyal remnants of Reyes's crew, launched their assault, scaling the building's exterior with climbing gear, Aisha leading the way like she had on cliffside insertions in the Hindu Kush, breaching the penthouse through a window in a hail of glass and gunfire, confronting Hale in his opulent study where maps of smuggling routes littered the desk, Razor by his side, battered but defiant. You should have stayed hidden, SEAL, Hale mocked, but Aisha's response was swift, disarming Razor again and forcing Hale to his knees. This ends now, your empire crumbles tonight, she declared, as Marcus and Lena secured evidence on thumb drives, exposing the syndicate to the FBI via an anonymous tip. But the ultimate twist revealed itself. Hale, in a desperate bid, confessed that Aisha's father hadn't abandoned them. He'd been Hale's partner in the early days of the syndicate, killed when he tried to go straight. A secret Hale had buried to protect his rise to power, making the attack on Aisha and Marcus not random but targeted revenge from the past. Your old man owed me, and now you pay the debt. Hale spat, but Aisha, unflinching, zip-tied him as sirens approached, the FBI storming in thanks to the tip, arresting the lot, though Razor escaped in the chaos, vowing eternal vendetta. In the aftermath, Aisha stood on the lakeshore with Marcus and Lena, the wind carrying promises of new beginnings. Her SEAL past no longer a shadow but a beacon, as they rebuilt their lives, Marcus pursuing teaching with renewed vigor, Lena breaking free from her family's curse, and Aisha considering a return to service, but not before ensuring the Black Kings were dismantled for good, tracking Razor to a hideout in Detroit with Reyes's help, a final confrontation in a derelict factory where old grudges clashed in a brutal hand-to-hand fight, Aisha emerging victorious, her brother's safety secured. Twists of fate weaving a tapestry of resilience against the odds, proving that hidden strengths can topple empires, and in the end, as the credits of their real-life drama rolled, Aisha whispered to the stars, "For Mom, for Dad, for us, we survive." The story didn't end there, though. Whispers of the syndicate's remnants surfaced in London, drawing Aisha across the Atlantic on a covert mission, blending her American roots with UK intrigue, infiltrating East End pubs where accents mixed and plots thickened, uncovering a branch led by Hale's British cousin, a slick operator named Reginald Thorpe, who ran guns through the Thames docks, disguised as legitimate cargo, Aisha posing as a buyer with forged credentials, her dark skin and sharp wit disarming suspicions in a world of pale faces and Cockney slang, but Thorpe smelled a rat when her accent slipped, leading to a chase through the underground, dodging trains and tourists as she evaded his goons, calling on old SEAL contacts in MI6 for aid. A joint op that stormed Thorpe's warehouse in Canary Wharf, explosions lighting the night sky as crates of AK-47s and RPGs were seized. Thorpe captured mid-escape on a speedboat, his confession linking back to Chicago and closing the loop on the syndicate's global reach. Back home, Marcus and Lena tied the knot in a quiet ceremony, Aisha as maid of honor, her trident pinned proudly on her dress, symbolizing the journey from victim to victor, but peace was fleeting. A copycat gang rose in the vacuum, targeting black communities with renewed vigor, forcing Aisha to train local youth in self-defense, turning her story into a movement. Workshops in gyms and community centers where she shared tales of survival, empowering others to uncover their inner warriors. Marcus joining as co-instructor, their bond unbreakable. Yet another twist lurked. Vargas, the traitor, had faked his death in custody, resurfacing with a vengeance, kidnapping Lena to draw Aisha out. A trap set in an abandoned amusement park on the outskirts of the city, Ferris wheels creaking in the wind like omens, Aisha arriving alone as demanded, but with hidden allies in the shadows. A tense standoff where Vargas monologued about betrayal and greed. "You SEALs think you're gods, but money rules," he laughed. But Aisha exploited a distraction from Marcus's drone overhead, dropping smoke grenades that allowed her to close the distance. A fierce brawl ensuing amid rusted roller coasters, punches landing like thunder, until she pinned him, forcing surrender as police swarmed. Lena safe, the family whole again. Years passed, Aisha penning a memoir that became a bestseller, Hidden Trident. A SEAL street war, inspiring films and debates on race, gender, and heroism in both USA and UK. Her story a bridge across oceans. But the final twist came when she discovered a half-sibling from her father's secret life. A young woman in the UK entangled in Thorpe's remnants, drawing Aisha back for one last mission, rescuing her kin from a human trafficking ring in Manchester, storming a fortified mill with precision strikes, bonds forged in blood and fire, expanding her family and closing chapters of pain. Through it all, Aisha's journey was one of relentless twists, from ambush to empire toppling, betrayal to redemption, personal secrets to global justice. Proving that one woman's hidden strength could ignite change, her legacy enduring in the hearts of those she saved. A testament to the unbreakable spirit of a Navy SEAL who never truly left the fight. The end came not with fanfare but quiet reflection. Aisha watching the sunrise over the Atlantic, knowing that while gangs and shadows persisted, so did warriors like her, ready to emerge when least expected, their stories woven into the fabric of resilience that bound nations and souls alike.